There's a category of business that every ambitious man overlooks on his way to something more impressive, and that oversight is costing him more money than almost any other decision he will make in his working life. The businesses are not exciting. They will never trend. They will never get you invited to speak at a conference, and they are quietly making ordinary men wealthy, while the ambitious ones chase logos and launch parties. This is not a list of side hustles. This is a structural explanation of why boring wins. And by the end of this, you will understand exactly which 5 businesses do it best and why almost no one with a business degree ever builds them. Sit with that contradiction for a second, because it violates something you were taught early. The culture around wealth building has spent the last 15 years selling you excitement. Build a brand, chase virality, disrupt an industry. The businesses that actually generate reliable long-term cash flow do almost none of that. They are unglamorous on purpose, and the reason is not accidental, it is structural. Point 1 is this: boring is not a personality trait, it is a defense mechanism. Excitement attracts competition. The moment a business becomes interesting enough to talk about at dinner, it becomes interesting enough for 100 other ambitious men to copy it. That is why trendy business ideas collapse in margin. Within 18 months, everyone with a laptop and a little capital floods in. At the same time, nobody is fighting to open a laundromat. Nobody is racing to start a pest control route. Nobody is filming a documentary about vending machines. The absence of glamour is the absence of competition. And the absence of competition is the entire reason these businesses keep printing money decade after decade, while flashier ventures burn out. Think about what happens in any market when attention increases prices for entry, increase margins, compress, and the easy money disappears within a few cycles. Boring businesses never experience that cycle because they never attract the attention in the first place. They sit quietly, serving unavoidable human needs: storage space, clean laundry, pest control, commercial cleaning, generating consistent revenue while nobody bothers to compete for it. The businesses are hiding in plain sight, protected by their own lack of appeal. Point 2 is where this becomes personal for you, because boring businesses do something almost no career and no trendy startup does. They convert your labor into an asset instead of a paycheck. Remember the difference between an hour that pays once and an hour that pays repeatedly. A laundromat owner installs machines once and collects quarters for a decade. A vending machine route gets stocked once a week and produces income every day. In between, a self-storage facility gets built once and collects rent indefinitely with almost no ongoing labor. This is the mechanism most ambitious men never encounter because they are too busy chasing businesses that feel important instead of businesses that behave like assets. The businesses on this list share one property above all else: they separate your presence from your income. The machine does not need you standing next to it to sell a candy bar. The storage unit does not need you unlocking the gate personally. The pest control route, once it has recurring customers on a quarterly contract, does not need you closing a new sale every single week. These businesses run on systems, not charisma, and systems are what compound, while charisma just performs. This is where most men make their first mistake. They assume boring means small. They assume unglamorous means unprofitable. The opposite is true. The businesses that generate the most reliable cash flow in this country are almost never the ones getting written up in magazines. They are the ones running quietly in every town in America, owned by men nobody has ever heard of, who are not trying to be heard of. Now we need to go back 5 centuries to understand why this pattern is not new at all. Niccolo Machiavelli spent his career studying how power actually survives, and one observation he made translates almost perfectly into modern business. He noticed that rulers who depended on borrowed glory, foreign alliances, mercenary armies, dramatic public displays of strength were always the most fragile, because their power depended on things they did not control. The rulers who lasted were the ones who controlled unglamorous fundamentals, grain supply, fortifications, tax collection, the boring machinery of a functioning state. Nobody wrote poems about tax collection, but the prince who controlled it outlasted the one who threw the better parties. The same principle governs money today. The businesses that survive recessions, survive changing trends, survive 20 years without collapsing, are almost never the exciting ones. They are the ones built on fundamentals. Nobody can disrupt because nobody wants to bother competing for them. A self-storage facility does not care if a new app launches next month. A pest control company does not get replaced by a viral trend. People will always have too much stuff and not enough space. They will always have bugs they do not want in their kitchen. Boring businesses win because they are built on permanent human needs instead of temporary human attention, and permanent needs do not go out of style. Point 4 is the part you actually came for. So here are 5 businesses that quietly print money year after year, and almost nobody with an impressive resume ever touches them. Laundromats require almost no daily labor. Once the machines are installed and the location is right, customers do the work themselves. You collect quarters and occasionally fix a machine. The cash flow is remarkably stable because laundry is not optional, and it is not something people delay during a recession. Vending machine, routes, let you place equipment once and revisit it on a schedule. The margins on snacks and drinks are enormous relative to the tiny footprint of the machine, and a route of even a dozen well-placed machines can produce steady weekly income with a few hours of restocking. Self-storage is arguably the cleanest example of the entire concept. You build or buy the units. Once tenants move their belongings in, and then largely forget about them. For years, the facility requires minimal staff, minimal maintenance, and produces monthly rent with almost no ongoing labor, which is exactly the Type C income structure wealthy men have quietly understood. For generations, pest control businesses look unremarkable until you notice the recurring contract structure. Most residential and commercial clients sign quarterly service agreements, which means the business is not chasing a new sale. Every visit, it is collecting predictable recurring revenue from a customer base that rarely cancels, because nobody wants bugs coming back. Commercial cleaning and janitorial services round out the list, because offices, medical buildings, and retail spaces need consistent cleaning, regardless of what the economy is doing. The contracts tend to be long-term, the demand never disappears, and the barrier to entry is low enough that a disciplined operator can start small and scale by adding buildings, not by reinventing anything. None of these 5 businesses will make you interesting at a dinner party. None of them will get you a feature article, and none of them require you to be the smartest man in the room. What they require is the willingness to build something unglamorous long enough for it to compound, while everyone around you chases the exciting thing that evaporates. In 18 months, we started this video with a question about excitement and competition, and now you understand the answer. Boring is not the absence of opportunity. Boring is the presence of opportunity that nobody else is willing to claim because they are too busy chasing something that looks better on camera. The men who quietly build wealth are rarely the ones you hear about. They are the ones running the laundromat down the street, the storage facility outside town, the pest control van you see every few months, and they built those businesses precisely because nobody else wanted to. So ask yourself honestly, what boring opportunity have you been overlooking? Because it did not feel impressive enough. The businesses that print money for decades were never hiding. They were just never interesting enough for you to notice, until now. If this shifted how you think about wealth, subscribe for more breakdowns like this one.